Hello everyone, this is Priyanka. Welcome to my channel Priyanka's IT School. Today I am sharing third tutorial on software testing. In this tutorial I am going to explain SDLC, that is Software Development Life Cycle. In previous tutorial we have discussed that software testing is process of identifying defect from software application, and defects are difference between expected and actual result. So software testing is integral part of software development life cycle, and this topic is again important as per interview. So let's understand detail about SDLC. Software development life cycle is a process used by industry to design, develop and test high quality software. The SDLC aims to produce high quality software that meets client expectation. In a simple way, SDLC is process by which we can say it includes set of phases to develop software systematically, and we have total six different phases in SDLC. So let's understand each and every phase in detail. First, we have requirement gathering and analysis phase. So requirements are a key point. Based on this, we can start entire process of development and testing software application. So requirement get gathered from client by BA, right? So BA is all about business analyst. So requirements also referred as user stories. BA gather user stories, analyze those user stories and conduct feasibility study and validation of those user story or requirement. So BA prepared BRS document. Okay, so BRS is all about business requirement specification document. So BA is responsible to gather all client requirement and he is responsible to prepare BRS document based on the analysis process. Now these requirements get actually divided into three different format. Okay, so very first we have this business requirement. Let's see. So business requirement get gathered by BA. So BA is responsible to gather all business need from the client and he is responsible to prepare BRS document. So document name is BRS document, that is business requirement specification document. So, actual business analyst gather requirement by studying their existing system, conducting interviews of user, developers and collecting answers from questionnaires. Based on requirement analysis, this business requirement document is actually get created. That is BRS document. Again, next is functional requirement. So, functional requirements are all about functionality, right? Related to functionality. So these requirements get gathered by developer and engineering team. So here we have a developer and engineering team who is responsible to gather all functional and functional requirement. Yes, so let's see, these requirements get gathered by developers and engineering team and they are responsible to prepare document, that is FRS document. So here we have one more important document to understand, that is FRS document. FRS is all about functional requirement specification document. So FRS document explains behavior of the software component in terms of functionality. Okay, so developer engineer teams gather functional requirement and they are responsible to prepare FRS document. We have third format, that is system requirement. System requirement gathered by system analyst. Okay, and after analyzing all those requirements, the system analyst is responsible to prepare SRS document. SRS is all about software or system requirement specification. So here we have system analyst which gather all system requirement and he is responsible to prepare SRS document, that is software requirement specification document, and this is high level document through which we can simply start entire development and testing process. Now, so in this entire requirement gathering phase, very first BA is responsible to gather all business requirements and based on that he is responsible to prepare BRS document. Then all the based on this business requirement, developer and engineering team is responsible to gather functional requirement and they prepare FRS document. Based on the user requirement and all this business and functional requirements, system analyst is responsible to gather system requirements. One more important point, what exactly this SRS document what you can say consist. So SRS consists all the information about product requirements to be designed and developed during project life cycle. Can I say SRS consists functional and non-functional requirement. So in previous tutorial we have discussed two important terms, that is I think so in first tutorial, right? Functional requirement and non-functional requirement. So functional and non-functional. What is meant by functional and non-functional requirements? So non-functional and functional requirements, it is all about, functional requirements is all about functionality of software application, and non-functional requirement is all about quality attributes of software application. So in this requirement gathering and analysis phase, we have all the high level documentation, BRS, FRS, URS, and again system requirement specification document. URS is all about user requirement specification document. So let's see next phase. Next phase we have, that is design phase. In this design phase, very first, design phase start their work by analyzing client requirement. So can I say input gathered in requirement phase or we can say output gathered in requirement phase is considered input to this design phase. Hence, based on the requirements specified in SRS document, design document specification, nothing but DDS get created by system architect. So here system architect is responsible to perform to work in this design phase, right? Now again, let's understand design in detail. So we have this design phase, and design phase is actually divided or categorized into two important parts or two types of design, that is high level design and low level design. What is meant by high level design? See, in this we can say high level, it is all about overall system design covering system architecture and database design. High level design describes the relationship between various modules or functions of the system. So data flow, flow chart, data structured are covered in high level design. So high level design document is all about overall architecture, functional architecture and database design. Now, second category is low level design. Low level design is like detailing high level design. It defines the actual logic for each and every component of the software system. So component is nothing but module or part of software system. Program specifications covered under low level design, and again class diagram with all the methods and relationship between classes comes under low level design. So low level design contain detailed design and detailed functional logic of module. So if we consider example, let's see one example. Example in high level design, if we define database structure or database design, then what exactly element that database design consists, we can define inside this low level designing. So low level, it is all about database table details as its element, including their type and size. So this is all about entire design phase. Now we have third important phase, that is development. So in this phase, developer is responsible to develop application, right, based on the SRS and FRS document and in client expected technology. So can I say based on the requirement document, SRS is very important document and it is a high level document. So based on that document, developer is responsible to develop application as per client need, as per the client expected technology. So actual software, or we can say working software, is produced in this phase, in this development phase. So developer develops software application and developer also responsible to test that application because developer is involved in unit testing. Now Whenever any component or unit developed by developer, then developer is responsible to test that component or unit or module uniquely. So unit, component, module, then we can say part of software, these terms having same meaning. Okay, so unit is again referred as a component as per ISTQB. Unit is also referred as a module or part of software system. So can I say developer is actually involved in debugging. So we have seen debugging is a development activity that finds the root cause of problem, and they in debugging we can analyze those problem, and we fix that entire problem, right? So debugging is all about, so developer is actually responsible to perform debugging. So in software application, developer is responsible to find root cause of the defect as well as fixing such defect. So developer also involve or it performs unit testing. Unit testing is a process of where smallest module or component or part of software application get tested uniquely. In this way, we have this third important phase, that is development. Now next phase we have, that is testing. Software tester is process of finding defect in software which shows failure in operations, and this activity definitely performed by tester. Now, in this phase, tester is responsible to test application by applying appropriate test techniques, test types, and test method to find defect from application. So, tester main objective is to find the defect as early as possible in software development life cycle and get them fixed by development team. So here, software testing and software tester, we have two different objectives. Okay, software testing objective is to check that whether, determine that software is doing what it is supposed to do. Okay, but software tester objective is find defect as early as possible in software development life cycle. So software testing is integral part of entire development life cycle. Now here let's understand some detail like how tester perform their work. So tester tests software application. They simply find the defects from that application. Then those defects get logged, and after that that report gets submitted at developer side, and developer is responsible to validate those defects. If defects are valid, then defect get fixed by development team. Okay, and after that whenever developer test or fix any defect, tester need to reconfirm, okay, whether the particular defect is fixed by developer team is correctly fixed or not, and this type of testing we call retesting. So here new more term we have, that is one more term we have, that is retesting. So retesting, it is all about confirmation testing. So after every fixing, okay, whenever developer fix particular defect, as a tester, it's our role to perform retesting for that fixed defect. Okay. Now, after retesting, tester is also responsible to conduct regression testing, because whenever fixing perform, that means some changes actually occur in that entire application. So whenever there are changes occurred, then tester is responsible to test side effects. Okay, so side effects of that those changes or side effects of fixing. So this entire testing type we referred as, or we called as, regression testing. Okay, so developer, after fixing, whenever developer fix the defect, tester responsible to perform retesting and regression testing. So tester, can I say, they need to start, tester need to start testing early in the life cycle, and they need to continue testing process till the software get released to the client. So, and we will see each and every topics or each and every concept in depth. Okay, so this is all about entire testing phase. Now we have a next phase here, that is deployment. Now see, deployment phase is a final phase of SDLC, and yes, which we can say which puts product into production or live environment. So after the project team tests the product and the product passes each testing phase, the product is ready to go live. This means that product is ready to be used in the real environment or real market by the end user of that product. So there are again various phases of deployment process. The project team must follow to ensure the code and technology deploy appropriately. So deployment is all about, we can say, handover the entire software application and the related documentation as a user manual reports to the client. Okay. Now the next, last phase we have, that is maintenance. So let's see what is exactly this maintenance. Once product is deployed in production or live environment, the product is under maintenance phase. Okay, this phase occurs when system is operational. So maintenance of software includes software upgrade, software repair, software monitoring, and fixes of software if it breaks. Let's understand this maintenance with its all detail. There are 4 different types of maintenance we have through which software industry simply deliver quality application to the client. Let's see. In this diagram, this is a software organization. Consider this is our client. So once the software is released in operational environment, that is to live environment, okay, to the client, then many things happen as client may want to change environment. So client, there may be a request from client to change environment. Okay, then client may want to update software with some new requirements, some new feature. Then we can say it as a feature request. That means whenever client need anything a change, right, or anything change in the software application, they simply report to the IT organization now, or IT industry. Now sometimes client might found a bug in software application. So client might report that bug to the development organization. So these are the reason, that's why software need to be maintained. So software should be maintained throughout the life cycle, right? From starting to the release of that entire life cycle, right? To the release of the entire life cycle. Now, hence development organization is responsible to provide maintenance to the software in 4 different ways. Very first, the first type is preventive maintenance. Okay, so what is meant by preventive maintenance? Let's see. Okay, here development organization is responsible to provide 4 different types of maintenance. Very first, there is a preventive maintenance. So entire software testing having an objective that prevention, okay, that defect should be, there should not be defect present in a software application. So for that purpose, prevention, that is prevent defects or prevent bug throughout the life cycle. That is all about preventive maintenance. Second maintenance we have, that is corrective maintenance. So your client may simple report any kind of defect, right, in a development organization. So corrective maintenance is to correct defect or bug reported by the client. We have third important maintenance, that is perfective maintenance. So perfective maintenance just to accommodate feature requests. So whenever client have any request, any new request to develop software application, then at that time as an industry we can simply provide perfective maintenance to the client. Fourth important maintenance is, that is adaptive maintenance. So adaptive is all about to adopt new changes for environment change requests by the client. Any new changes we can handle with the help of all the, we can say, issues or all the reports in terms of environment related to environment change. So adaptive is all about adopt new changes in terms of environment change requests by the client. So these are the 6 phases we have in software development life cycle: requirement gathering and analysis phase, design phase, development phase, testing, deployment, and maintenance phase. That's all for this video, guys. Please do subscribe and like my video. Thanks for watching.